And the question is, you see that you are out of the risk. No, because he said, if in case you sign a permit, don't put this.
This is
Because I have two kids.
you should have said himself, my neighbor Patrick, lives on Spruce Street. He's buying it. That was will get him nuts. So when he the first meeting, he said he's really questioning with this personal
Yeah, maybe for a second, I'll take care of it.
and then John and now it's sort of problems, right? So we call.
Oh,
Wish it enough for every time. Well, it's overnight.
Okay, so it'll comply.
Correct.
Okay.
We need them in a plan. Okay.
All right.
That's fine, but
I
again,
have trust issues. That's
We all
fine,
do.
but at least I can go through with their area variances.
Good afternoon. This is the Town of Hempstead Board of Appeals, February 11th, 2026, 2 p.m. meeting. Mr. Chairman, do you have any opening remarks?
Okay, so for those of you who have not appeared before us before, the priority in which we call the cases are as follows. We will first call for any adjournments. There may or may not be any. And then we'll get into the cases. The cases will be heard in the following manner. The applicant will be given the opportunity to present their case. And then if there are any people who object, they'll be given the opportunity to voice their objections. And then we will close the case with the applicant or the applicant's representative summing up. As you may be aware, this is not a court of law. It's an administrative body. As such, we're fairly flexible in terms of the types of evidence that we will accept. However, once we close the case, no additional evidence will be considered. We do have a court reporter who will take down everything that is said here today. We would respectfully suggest that you not try to talk over each other if there's some controversy with respect to the application that you're presenting. We would ask that you speak slowly, speak into the microphone. The proceedings are videotaped so that should you wish to refer to them in the future, they're archived and you can do so at your leisure. All right, I believe that's all I would like to say this afternoon. And Patrick, if you will, start calling the cases.
Mr. Chairman, we do have an application for an adjournment this afternoon, case 10326 Belmore, Samantha Moreau, also known as 2816 Len Drive. Just your name and address for the record.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. Gennaro Cozzolino for the homeowner Samantha Morrow. Case number 103. Requesting an adjournment. We needed to add, there was a second-story deck that we filed that needs to be combined with this application.
Okay, Patrick?
Mr. Chairman, April 22nd at 2 p.m.
Is that acceptable, sir?
Sure.
April 22, 2 p.m. Case will be adjourned.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Have a good day.
Next, we have case 10426 Point Lookout, Louis Tiglias. Variances, lot area occupied, side yard is aggregate, rear yard, construct additions, second floor breezeway open below connecting dwelling to garage with second story above and rooftop decks, all attached to dwelling, also known as 55 Inwood Avenue.
No, it's all right. I mean, you could leave it. I guess leave it. Good afternoon, Chairman, members of the board. Michael Rant, North Coast Civil, 39 West Main Street, Oyster Bay, New York, 11771. I'm joined this afternoon with Donald Sklar, the architect for the project, and we're here seeking variances for a renovation of an existing dwelling at 55.
Can you give your appearance?
Name and address.
I'm Donald.
Can you pull the microphone toward you and make sure you tap it in case? Okay.
Okay. My name is Donald Sclair, architect. Donald and Lisa Sclair Architects is the firm. We're at 20 South Washington Street in Port Washington, New York.
Before we go forward, I think you've spoken with various members of the staff. We originally had a concern that the proposed structure is 30 feet from the DFE, the design flood elevation, and the foundation plan seemed to lack sufficient information about the FEMA requirements, including the flood vent stuff. As I understand it, and the concern we had was that if you then produce those foundation plans that account for that, it would likely push the structure above the 30 from DFE, which is the limit. As I understand it, after speaking with our senior plans examiner and other members of our staff, you understand the issue that we have. You prefer to go forward with your presentation, and your thought is that you would provide thereafter the FEMA, the foundation plans, providing the required FEMA, all the required FEMA stuff, the vents and all that, and that you would lower the pitch of the roof or otherwise lower it so that you would not be seeking a height variance. And if that's all true, you're gonna, after we hear what you wish to provide today, you're gonna end up with some revised and or additional plans submitted to the building department and then provided us confirming that you don't need a height variance and that you've otherwise, without a height variance, satisfied all the FEMA requirements with the building department.
That is totally correct. So we have two points to move. One is to lower the pitch of the roof, and the other is to lower the height of the second floor to provide a slightly lower first floor.
Is that how you understand it, Ms. First?
Combination of the two will give us the required height with no change in elevation, and we will submit revised drawings.
Great.
Right ahead.
Plans, please.
Again, good afternoon. My name is Michael Ranch from North Coast Civil. As mentioned, we would, from the architect, we'd make those modifications to the structure, which will not change or impact any of the variances that we're seeking this afternoon, and will maintain the maximum 30-foot height. The variances that we are seeking, this is a pre-existing non-conforming home in the Point Lookout area where many of the homes do not comply with the setbacks. We're making modifications to a structure that needs improvement. The modifications include adding modifications to the second story, adding some small additions to the back of the property, and connecting an existing garage that's currently detached to the structure. The
garage to be converted to living space then?
The garage will be remained as a garage, and then above it, a second floor is added. Currently, the utilities are in the basement. Due to FEMA flood zone requirements, those have to be relocated, and the space above the garage is being dedicated for utilities. That's why we're adding a second story above the garage.
And the link.
And that would be connected from the main structure to that garage. There'll be a connection. The setbacks to the side yard remain the same. We're not increasing. Currently, there's an open porch that exists, and we're not going any closer to the street. We're extending the front wall of the house to the second story, and that requires a variance. The average front yard setback in this area is 5.2 feet, and the front yard setback to the second story deck would be 4.9 feet. Slight encroachment over the average. Due to the additions and the connecting of the garage, we'll be increasing the building area. Currently, the home as it sits has a 50% building coverage, and we're.
Can I just ask you?
Sure.
I'm sorry to shortcut here. Most of your stuff is second floor stuff.
Right.
So it's above existing structures.
Correct.
Can you just point out for me what portions of this proposal are not above, are outside the footprint of the existing structure?
Sure. We're increasing the building area by 120 square feet.
What percentage?
It's going from 50% to 53%. So 3% increase in building coverage. And that is there's two one-story additions at the back of the house. One of them is 1 foot 5 inches, the other one is 3 foot 10 inches. That
That's
is
33.01 square feet.
correct, and
Okay.
13.8 square feet.
Wait. So that little hashtag double hatched, right? That's one outside the footprint.
Both of these are outside the
And then that other little one,
is 13.8 square feet.
and is the breezeway is not existing, right?
But it's not existing. That would be
So that's also not within the footprint.
correct.
Okay, those three things, are those the only proposals that are outside the footprint?
There is a small one-story addition to the left. It's kind of hatched in the.
It's double, triple, quadruple hatched, right?
Yes, that is 63 square feet. So those
It's,
four.
it's the one, can you point at it exactly? Yeah, that's what I thought. So hold on, I'm gonna show you this real quickly. What I've marked here in purple, those are the only additions that are outside the footprint, is that correct?
Correct. And the,
Architect?
Yes.
and the purple that's quadruple hatch, it falls within the footprint of an existing porch. So it's already a roof covered area. It's just an open porch. That 63 square feet will be enclosed.
Oh, so it's not outside the footprint?
Not outside.
There is already something built there?
There's an open porch. It's not part of a walled living space. It's an open porch area.
Understood. Go ahead now. I just wanted to have that framework before I heard your testimony.
Yeah, so those areas encompass the 120 square feet of additional space that's being added. That brings us to
Four of them or the three of them?
well, those three spaces, the porch, I don't believe the porch was included.
Not including the one that's already on the footprint, but it's unenclosed. Those little three on the top, 33 square feet, 13.8 square feet, and breezeway, I don't see the number. Those three comprise how much?
Those are clear additions.
Right, I thought you were telling us the square footage net on those. Right, doesn't matter.
My understanding, those four spaces add up to the 120 square feet.
Oh, okay, including the one that exists, but you're gonna enclose.
Correct.
So that total, okay, thank you, go ahead.
That is the increase in building coverage. Again, those minor modifications to the footprint. The front yard, the second story is being extended along that front of the house, and it has a setback of 4.9 feet. The existing home.
Wait, but that's being extended within the footprint?
It's being extended over the existing, yes, over the existing home. Yes, correct.
Right, it's just important. Those other three, and not including the enclosure, these things you're talking about that are all second story are all over existing structure.
Yes, correct. It's cited as a
Second
floor setback variance of 4.9 feet, where the average front yard setback is 5.2 feet. So that's the only front yard setback that's required. The side yards are being maintained. We're not changing or increasing decreasing any of the existing setbacks. The aggregate is 3.92 feet, and that matches the current conditions on the property. That is not changing. The rear yard setbacks that are being sought, the existing rear yard is 6.4 feet at its closest point. The 1 foot 5 inch addition that you have highlighted in purple, the 13.8 square feet, that has a setback of 5.0 feet to the rear yard. So we're going from 6.4 feet to 5 foot in that small portion of the building.
Okay, there. But what about when you attach the garage? Don't you have to take the garage as your rear yard, Becky? So
The existing garage is 2.1 feet from
so
the rear
when we
yard.
deliberate, since you're attaching the garage with the breezeway, we have to talk about the garage being the rear yard setback we're negotiating about.
Yes.
So to speak.
Correct.
Okay, so other than that little tiny section that's gonna move into 5 instead of 6.4, that 33.01 square foot addition, how far is that setback?
It's also 5 feet.
5 feet,
All right. So it's 5 feet, but for the garage, otherwise existing.
correct.
Okay.
Yeah,
keep
the
going.
garage is existing, and that has a 2.1 foot setback, and that's, again, being.
Which was as of right
As
until
of
you
right.
attached it.
Correct.
Go ahead.
Those are, I believe, all of the variances that are being requested. The home, again, as mentioned in the initial onset of the application, is being elevated to comply with FEMA flood zone requirements. It'll be elevated about 12 inches more in order to comply with code, and we would make reductions to the roof structure to comply with the 30-foot height restriction. I think overall, if you look at the character of the neighborhood and the other homes in this vicinity, it's a very unique area. Many of the homes are pre-existing non-conforming. The neighbor to the south has a side yard setback of 2.1 feet. The neighbor to the north has a side yard setback of 3 feet. So this, what we're seeking is within character of the neighborhood. The home itself, in its current condition, is dilapidated and needs improvements. And I think by renovating the home, bringing it up to the current standards, meeting the requirements as far as building code, FEMA requirements, and aesthetically will be a major improvement over the existing conditions.
All right. So now, just to regress, I guess.
I don't have that.
How's this gonna work with dealing with the FEMA stuff? I know you're putting the equipment above the garage. You're gonna create the plan.
We're going
For
to
the-
elevate the floor, put in flood vents.
What do you, if you know now, we'll wait for the plans, but if you know now, that looks like a pretty, what is that, like a 7/12 pitch or something you got right now? What's the pitch? I mean, I'm just eyeballing it on that top section. I can't. I don't see the little,
But the first floor, we have 10-foot plus ceiling, so we can come down to a 9-foot.
pull the mic closer because I want it to be on the record.
Okay. Well, we can modify the slope of the roof. We don't want to bring it down too much. We don't want to have any flood or water damage with the shingles. We still have room to lower the first floor ceiling height about a foot, which still maintains the slope and gives us the extra foot necessary to put in the flood vents.
We don't care how you do it, and actually,
Right,
that's
as
better.
long as it's
than
done.
a steep pitch because it takes up less space.
Right, it's also more
But I just
waterproof.
want the court reporter to have it on the record. That's why I asked you to pull the
Yes.
mic. So you have a 10-foot first floor space. So you,
Ceiling height, which we can lower.
how many feet do you think you're going to need to accommodate your FEMA additions?
We're going to need an additional 12 inches
Oh,
for the venting.
so you might just keep the pitch.
That's right.
Okay.
So-
In
It's
addition,
aesthetic
they're
over-
going to be moving the slab of the crawl space, so that's also going to help them out with a couple inches there
Okay.
too.
I just want to make a minimal record about what the pitch is now, because I was under the understanding you're going to do a bit of both. Either way, you're going
Yeah,
to deal
well,
with that.
This will be in consultation with the owners, who will have something to say about it.
I think you just tell them what they got to do.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
There is room. There's 10 foot on the first floor, 9 foot on the second floor
9,
ceiling height, and 9 from structure to structure, but clear height is 9 foot. And there is a properly sloped roof. So there's more than enough ability to find 12 inches within that structure to
I think
comply
that's
with
a
the.
better way to do it anyway, because then it looks less you go down a little bit and you keep the high pitch. It's less imposing in a neighborhood where everything's kind of bursting at its seams through no fault of the people, but it is what it is. Okay, I have no further questions.
Anyone else here on this application? No one. Any other questions from the board? If not, do I have a motion?
Move the hearing be closed, the matter be placed on the decision calendar. Everyone who signed in on the case will receive a copy of the board's decision by mail once it's rendered.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
We're gonna put this on our reserve count, so there'll be no action until we work it out with our office, okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right,
Thank you.
here you go, Vic. Oh, here we go.
Next we have case 10526 West Hempstead, 341 Hempstead LLC, variance in off-street parking, special exception to park in front yard setback on Hempstead Avenue and Spruce Street, and parking within the clear site triangle. Construct a one-story building with cellar for ambulance service, demolish existing building, also known as 341 Hempstead Avenue.
LCO.
Swear affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God. Please take
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. William Bonesso for Celli Deegan Tirana, 333 Earl Ovington Boulevard, Uniondale, New York, here on behalf of the applicant, 341 Hempstead LLC. The applicant is the owner of the subject property at 341 Hempstead Avenue in West Hempstead. Ultimately, however, the site is proposed to be used by Chevra Hatzela of the Rockaways in Nassau County. It is an ambulance service that this board has actually heard from before. Several years ago, I appeared with Mr. Kafka. Howie Kafka is to my right. He is one of the members and representing the service today. And this board heard how these facilities work. I'm going to give a brief overview and with the help of Mr. Kafka, and then we'll turn it over to Mr. Muller. All of our relief required is parking associated. We need a parking variance. There are, the code requires 10 parking spaces for this building on this site. We're providing 5, albeit they are within the front yard setbacks and also within the clear site triangle. That said, as you'll hear, the actual parking demand for this type of facility is extremely low and infrequent. So just first of all, I would like to start off with Mr. Kafka. Would you please just give an overview of the services that Hatzela provides?
Sure. Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. Howard Kafka, 124 Harborview East, Lawrence, New York. The overview, the way Chevra Hatzela works is we carry around a portable radio. If a call goes out in that specific area that they are at, then we respond, we're in the area. Then if so, the dispatcher then will direct that individual to go direct, a few members direct, to the location that needs service.
And when you say the individual, you mean an EMT or one of the people who are going to respond to the emergency?
Correct. Either an EMT or a paramedic will go direct. And the reason being is because our vehicles are considered by the DOT an emergency vehicle. So we'll have a full set of equipment to start treatment right away, whatever it might be, respiratory, neurologic, trauma, etc.
And those people are
Can I
not
just ask you curiosity? We've had a number of Hatzalas in the past. So if I'm in an emergency and someone calls 911, not knowing I'd prefer the Hatzala, are you saying it's 911 that interfaces? So unless your dispatcher is called directly, it doesn't get to you.
Correct. Great question. There is an emergency phone number that in the event an individual would want and require Hatzala, then they will call that number, and then the dispatcher will then alert that specific area and ask if there are any members to go and that are available.
Right, but if I came up on emergency, which happened to me last year, and I got to call 911 that this person's injured, I might not know that they need the Hatzala instead of the other one, right? But there's no interface. I just curious.
Correct. Correct. At this point, there's no interface.
Okay.
So, Mr. Kafka, when you say that the responders respond directly to the scene, you mean the EMTs, wherever they are, they're not necessarily at the station that we're talking about here, correct?
Correct. If I may I'd just like to add that there are times that if individuals do call 911, they do call Hutcella for mutual aid. So, in other words, there are nearby volunteers or EMS that will call us for mutual aid, and then we will respond.
Not a more seamless interface.
Agreed. Hopefully in the future. My apologies.
That's all right. So I was saying that what do you call this, a satellite station?
Correct.
Okay, this satellite station is not going to be manned on a daily basis, on a regular basis. Is that correct?
Correct.
So in other words, a call comes into Hatsala, the dispatcher reaches out directly to your responders, not to the station. The responders go directly to the call, and there may never be any activity at the station. Is that correct?
That is 100% correct.
So the only time the station has activity is if one of the ambulances is required. Is that correct?
Correct.
And under those pardon?
Except for maybe the dispatch person.
Well, there's no dispatch person in this facility. They do not have a dispatch person at the facility. And that's why these are very low activity uses from the standpoint of occupancy and parking. Probably, and Mr. Kafka can correct me if I'm wrong, but based on our conversations, you may have 2 hours in a 24-hour day that this building is occupied. Most of the time, it is empty. It is just basically a location where right now they have one ambulance. They have a second ambulance that they're going to put in here. This can accommodate 3 ambulances. But other than that, and equipment that they may not maintain on site, they have a basement, and that's where there'll be storage for equipment. Other than that, the only thing they have here is a small break room if they have to have a debriefing on a particular call that they had, or they're just going to get a cup of coffee or something like that, bathrooms, and that's it.
So you have 3 ambulances, hopefully, you have 2, 3 bays, and so if they get the call and 3 people drive, how many people go in an ambulance? Because your point is, we only need the people who are leaving their cars there to get in the ambulance to go, right?
Right. So how does that work? Let's say your responder goes to the scene, and now there needs to be transport to a hospital.
Correct.
Walk us through that.
So basically, again, the dispatcher gets the call, at so-and-so location. The dispatcher will put it out over the air. If an individual or 2 is in the area, they will tell the dispatcher, they will get dispatched, and then they will respond direct in their own vehicle to location. If an ambulance is needed based upon the nature of the call that the dispatcher spoke to that individual patient family member, then they will dispatch an individual to pick up an ambulance and proceed to location. That's it.
So typically, one person will go to the station, park their car, pick up the ambulance, and go out.
Correct.
And if need be, I guess you could put the car where the ambulance was.
Well, they do have 5 parking spaces on site. They don't, again, because they're parked in the front, because they're in the front yard setbacks, they need relief from the board, but they can certainly accommodate the one, at most 2 that would occur if there were 2 simultaneous calls and they had to use both ambulances. Other than that, based on my conversations with Mr. Kafka, the only other times they will have the need for people to be in the facility will be when they're restocking equipment. That could be once a week, that could be once a month, depending on the number of calls. Or if they have, as I said, a debriefing. No, they don't do training here. They have a separate a larger site for training. It is literally just a station for equipment, for the ambulances to be housed, and again, on occasions, you could say how often, a debriefing after a particular call that was significant, something.
How close is the primary site? You indicated there was a primary site for this group.
Yeah, they have a number of sites.
The primary site is in Woodbury on West Broadway.
How far?
It's, I would say approximately how many miles? I would say about a 25-minute ride.
Is there not another ambulance? I'll refer to it as an ambulance corps. How far away is the closest ambulance corps on Hempstead Avenue? There is one to the south of this location, not too far south. They're affiliated with the academy. They're right across the street from the academy. And they have several ambulances that they park on Hempstead Turnpike in the front.
So if you're talking on Hempstead Avenue, across the street from the synagogue, I believe it's Young Israel of West Hempstead, if that's what you're talking about, we have to move those ambulance to this location.
So what's going to happen at that location? So it's
That we do not own that property.
Oh, you say you're going to move the ambulances that are there to this location?
Correct.
So what is the affiliation
The affiliation with that property right now.
with those ambulances?
So those ambulances are our ambulances.
Okay.
The affiliation of that property, we do not own. It's just of the goodness of the community and the synagogue that owns the property, and the goodness of the community allowed us to park it
So
there.
those ambulances will now be sent to your location, the one that you're talking about now. So there will
Correct.
not be two sets of ambulances.
No,
on
no.
that road.
And there's a reason why we need to get our ambulances inside an enclosed house space. If you'd like.
What's that reason?
Well, there's a lot of wear and tear on our ambulances, and it costs thousands and thousands of dollars. The lifespan of our ambulances will be longer and not cut in half because of it being kept, outside. And one of the biggest things, forget about the monetary aspect, but when it's housed outside, the ambulance has certain medications, okay? And we cannot appropriately treat any patient without medications that are, forget about whether it's frozen or not, but even if it's slightly cold, we cannot infuse any
And in
type
the
of.
heat, it must degrade them.
It works both ways. So that's our main important issue, because the bottom point is the net result of treating the patient other than wear and tear and maintenance.
Okay, so I have a question. In the past, when we've had some opposition to Hatzalah, we had one or more in the 5 towns. And the main thing that I remember, at least, that was the complaint, to the extent there was any, was the sirens. So tell us about how that would work here.
We have talked about that. So why don't you talk about what your policies are in that regard and what kind of condition you can accept?
Yeah, so we train all our members in all different facets and areas and levels of training, not only medical, but in reference to safety and how to operate, appropriately an ambulance. There's something called CEVO, which is Coaching Emergency Vehicle Operator. So they take these safety courses, not only how to drive and to be safe, but also when to use, when not to use. Just because we're in an ambulance does not mean that the sirens are always, being used. The lights will be on if it's an emergency, but the sirens are used minimally only if legally it's needed to be, because there's an emergency reason, that if a car or anything that might be blocking. Otherwise, every single member is taught, spoken to, educated when to, when not to, when it would be appropriate, and to keep the noise level at a minimum.
Well, so I just want to say, I ask you that, but you're in a business district on both sides of your road. So for that reason, we can expect business. You do have, though, some residences to the back. I don't know this, like lot 444, for example. So one of the questions that in the past has been brought up, let's say someone gets a call, you jump in the ambulance. There, in the past, we've had testimony that, they jump in the ambulance and he's like next to in the middle of the night, even though like you said, you don't have any need for the siren at that moment. So is that consistent with the training that you're describing? That just because you get in the ambulance right there, yes, you're in a business district, but right to the back, there's a residential area. They're not going to just start buzzing the sirens just to pull out just because that's protocol.
Correct, and not necessarily it is protocol. Protocol is to put on your lights so people see your
Lights are
emergency
different.
vehicle. As they exit onto Hempstead Avenue, they're going to be first stopping right before they get into the street. They're going to be looking to the left, the right, the left, and if there's no vehicles at that time, then they'll proceed out. If there might be some vehicle in front of them, then they will have that option of putting on the siren for a moment and then going on to Hempstead Avenue. And if no one's in front of them or any need to put on the siren, then they will not resume the siren.
So the training would be, if I get a call, I drive Hatsala, I get there, I get in it, it's 2 a.m, I got neighbors on that side of me, there's little to no traffic, I don't need to blip my thing to pull out
Absolutely, yeah,
of the
absolutely
station or
not.
the house back, I don't need it unnecessarily. It's only for the lights I get. But I'm just trying to say, we have some people who are interested in the case. My guess is that's one of the issues, because that's what has been the issue in the past, Mr. Benesso,
Yeah.
So I just want to understand, you train them. Look, don't just run your siren because you got one.
Well, 100% correct. There's no need to. And if there's no need to, then they will not.
Thank you.
just
You'll get a
minute.
chance.
You'll be given the opportunity.
Unless the board has any additional questions of Mr. Kafka.
Hold on. You'll
Just
get your
a minute.
chance.
You'll get a
You're gonna get the
chance.
microphone and everything.
Unless the board has any further questions of Mr. Kafka, I'll call upon Mr. Muller to provide his testimony in connection with the parking and traffic.
Okay. Would that be Wayne Muller? He's famous.
Yes.
Mr. Muller is a transportation engineer with R&M Engineering. He has been qualified many, many, many times by this board as a traffic expert, able to provide expert opinion testimony in the areas of traffic and parking. We ask that he be permitted to do so today.
Mr. Muller, you've been qualified by this board many, many times. Since the last time you were qualified as an expert to speak to traffic and parking, have any of your qualifications changed?
No, they have not.
Okay, so we will again qualify you as an expert in traffic and parking, which enables Mr. Muller to testify as to those facets of this case. Go right ahead, you're free to testify.
Thank you. For the record,
Report, Mr. Muller.
excuse me?
You did.
Okay, great. For the record, Wayne Muller, R&M Engineering, offices at 50 Elm Street, Huntington, New York. We previously prepared a traffic engineering assessment of the subject proposal before the board today. That document stated December 23rd, 2025. I also have additional copies to hand up as per the board's requirements. And I think a lot of the information that's contained in my report has already been discussed by Mr. Benesso. Again, it's a very low intensity use. We don't anticipate there be a lot of activity generated by the project and by the property. As indicated on the plans, 10 parking spaces are required, 5 are provided. The 5 parking spaces will be more than sufficient to accommodate the anticipated demand of the ambulance use on the property. The access to and from the ambulance bay that would be from Hempstead Avenue. We did perform some parking observations of the level of activity on Hempstead Avenue in and around the subject property, found that there are available spots on Hempstead Avenue during their peak times, but they may not coincide with the peak times of the ambulance because the ambulance activity is very sporadic. As Ms. D'Amato indicated, the property is 100% situated within a business zone. As the board is aware, there are many, many different uses that are fully permitted within the business zone that would generate a significantly larger quantity of traffic than the ambulance facility, which is sporadic at best. So therefore, based on our review of the application that's before the board this afternoon, it is my professional opinion that the granting of the relief required to facilitate the construction of the project will not create any undue traffic congestion or hazard, and that the 5 parking spaces that are provided on the property will be more than sufficient to accommodate the level of activity without spillover onto the neighboring roadways, and that the variance required for the minor encroachment into the clear sight triangle would not create any significant issues with traffic to and from the facility. And that's due to the fact that there's a parking lane provided on Hempstead Avenue, which actually throws the theoretical curb line closer to the road, so the vehicles really won't have an issue with the minor encroachment to the clear sight triangle. I'll be happy to answer any questions.
I have a question, Mr. Manesso. On the, where's the arrow? On the east side of the property, like on the west side, there's a dotted area. Now on the west side, I assume it's grass. Is that what that is?
Yes, I believe that is.
Some kind of vegetation, grass, whatever.
Correct.
And then you're proposing a 6-foot fence along the rear of the property.
Correct. Yes, new 6-foot high vinyl fence, and it will be 6 feet, but it'll be lower as it approaches the front of the property.
Yeah, is that say, I can't tell if it's, I assume it says 4, but I can't tell. It says new vinyl fence at elevation 6.
4 feet. It'll reduce down to 4 feet in the 25 feet closest to the.
Toward Hempstead Avenue.
Yeah.
And you have a curb, 2 curb cuts. Okay, go ahead, I'm sorry. I have no question for you.
Thank you.
That's our direct presentation, Mr. Chairman. Nassau County Planning Commission recommended local determination. We'd just like the opportunity to respond to any comment.
Mr. Limatone, just a minute, folks. Mr. Limatone, you signed in as interested in light of the fact that you submitted a letter in opposition. Would you like to sign in as being opposed to the application as opposed to merely being interested? Okay, so Patrick, can you have him change the vote, so to speak? No, Mr. Limatone. You submitted a letter.
Christina.
You submitted a letter stating that you were opposed to the application, and yet you signed in as being interested. You're really opposed to it.
Thank you. Okay, so please state your name and address for the record.
Interestingly.
My name is Giuseppe Limiton, and I live on 175 Spruce Street.
Okay. So, you know, sir,
My
no, hold on.
Hold it.
You speak kind of quickly, it sounds like, but we have a court clerk here who has to take it all in. So I like the volume, but make sure you speak slowly enough that she can take it all down, as you say.
Okay.
Go ahead. Go ahead, sir.
I have to repeat everything. Okay. My name is Giuseppe Limiton. I live in West Hempstead, 175 Spruce Street. My concern is this. I live next door, the property they want to build this, all right? So I have experience with the supermarket they built a couple of years ago.
Where is that, sir? That's right next door to this property to the east?
Yeah, Glad.
Northeast.
Everybody there knows they're Glad.
Wait, not
Glad.
northeast.
It's the northeast.
Everyone knows they're what?
The store, the Glad, the
Glad.
supermarket.
Correct.
Okay? Now, when they built, everything was nice, everything was do this, and the other one. After a couple of months, we was live there. After 1 year, one car he came in my property.
One what?
What do you mean?
One car, they have a parking lot.
Right.
One car, he came in my property.
What do you
He
mean
broke
by
the
that?
fence and everything because the town, they never check. They're supposed to put the concrete 3 feet or 4 feet high. My property and the property they're glad.
Hold
They
on,
never did.
hold on. That place at 327, is that what you said it is, Mr. Benesso?
That's what they was.
It's right next, hold on. I'm sorry, Limitone, Mr.
Yeah.
Limitone. It's the property right next to this property. Is that correct?
Yes.
To the east.
Yes.
Now, it doesn't actually share a border with you. It has like a corner. Oh, does your property go all the way back down?
No, it shows
The
you.
glat comes all the way over here.
Oh, the glat
So
goes on
what
that
he's-
residential.
So what I have to have now,
Hold on.
glad over here,
Hold on,
and
hold
the
on,
ambulance
hold on,
over here.
Hold
We
on.
got it.
So it takes
That
up
goes
all
back,
this into the
that goes
residential.
back, yes.
Okay, so you're, Mr. Limitone.
More English because I'm not.
No, Mr. Limitone.
Speak into the mic.
So you're saying a car from that
Parking lot.
Yeah, he came in my property.
broke through the fence and went into your property, and you believe that's because
Because the
they
town, they
didn't
don't-
put in, we can't take his back, they didn't put in the required, what you understood to be the required 3-foot concrete barrier.
Yeah, because when I came to the meeting, they're supposed to put the wall.
How long
4 feet
ago?
high, the concrete, but they never did.
How long ago did that car break through?
How long ago? He came at 3/4 of the car in my property.
How long ago? Last year or 10 years ago?
No, 2 years ago.
Do it?
Yeah, 2.5 years ago. I don't have all of the
No, I just
detail
wanted
and
an
everything.
idea. Okay.
And there was a little deep because from his property and my property,
Mike.
his property and my property, they are this much his property low to my property.
When you say his, you mean the supermarket?
The supermarket.
Not this property. Okay,
Yeah.
keep going.
That's what I have to say. And the town, I wish once they build and they check, before they go inside, they have the proper way, the way you people speak. And the way the law they set to them. They don't
Okay.
do the same thing like that.
Hold on. That, at that property that you're talking about where the car broke into your property?
Yeah.
Okay. Where did you get the idea? Was it at one of these hearings or from the building department? What led you to believe, or how did you find out that they were supposed to put that 3-foot barrier around at the supermarket?
Well, if they go, the first, what they was talking about their bills, they was read like this. But after when he came in, he never did.
Did they have a hearing here?
Yes, they did.
I think so.
And it was at that
Who
hearing?
give the permit to them to build like this?
Well, there's
town.
more than one agency.
Yeah.
But it was at that hearing that you understood they were putting up that concrete barrier.
Well, that's how I was found out to the town. He never came to them to say, you have to build the concrete. Now, what did he did after? The town, they came, they see the problem because I told you, my property over here and his property over here, low. Okay, almost 2 feet, 1.5 feet. Okay, when the car came, they came, and after what they did at the town, he said, you're supposed to put the concrete, the wall. They never did. They make them do the metal one. This way the car, they hated the metal, they don't come inside.
So that problem got solved.
Yeah, I
I'm
hope.
concerned about the same problem here.
Yeah, but I don't want the same problem. Now, I'm living next door. This guy, they're supposed to come pick up the garbage 7 o'clock in the morning. They never come 7 o'clock in the morning. By 5 o'clock, they come, they make a noise, they make this, they make that one.
That's at the
The glad of the supermarket.
Do you understand, Mr. Limitone, that we're not here to discuss what's happening at the Glatt supermarket. This is
No,
about.
I just don't want to take
No,
the
I
point. I
understand.
don't want to make this up because
I understand.
when they come over here, they make so much commotion, so much noise they want to build. I understand. But I know I have a problem after because they come with the garbage there and the ambulances, they come 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning. I don't have no sleep anymore. That's my concern.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Benesso, it doesn't sound like, from what you and the other gentleman have testified to, it doesn't sound like they're going to generate a lot of garbage. Who is going to do the garbage pickup? Is it the local sanitary district? And where are you going to store the garbage?
Well, the garbage obviously will be inside our facility, and whenever it needs to be picked up, it'll be picked up, whether it's the local or other. Normally, it's the local, but that would be,
But do you know whether or not you're going to be required to get private sanitation there? Or is Sanitary District 6 going to pick up the garbage?
well, obviously,
regular.
we'll find out exactly what is needed,
Yeah.
when it needs to go out, and to ensure that things will go
But the
smoothly.
garbage, I mean, you're not going to have, from what you've testified to, you're not going to have commercial garbage there.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. There'll be minimal garbage. It doesn't produce a lot of garbage there because there's not many individuals there in a 24-hour period.
We'll check on that other thing too, Mr. Manone.
Okay. Name and address for the record, sir. Go right ahead, Mr. Lapp. Yep.
All right, to touch on what Mr. Lipton said, I think one of his main grievances was the quality of the building department following through with their proper checks and balances. I was doing a permitted extension on my house and noticed that everything was followed through to the T, and each one was a retaining wall. I'm not going to touch on all Mr. Lipton's problems and all the issues with the flat supermarket. I am going to raise concerns I have for the neighborhood and for that corner of Spruce Street. Number one, the corner of Spruce Street is very heavily trafficked, and it is very difficult to make turns on and off of that block. One of the main concerns was the location of the driveway skirt on Hempstead Avenue and the width of the driveway skirt. Can you please tell me what the width of the driveway skirt for the ambulances is on Hempstead Avenue?
If you mean the opening, the apron, the actual curb cut will be 55 feet wide, 55 feet 4 inches wide.
Okay, and what will be the size of the driveway skirt on Spruce Street?
That
There's currently a driveway on Spruce.
the
14.
curb cut, it will be 14 feet wide.
Will that be remain in the same spot?
I don't know if this is in oh, it says to remain, so yes.
Why not use the driveway on the Hempstead Avenue side?
Well, this curb cut is to provide access to the parking spaces in the rear of
Disabled
the
parking.
property. It also would allow for a vehicle to come in and move, well, actually, no, it wouldn't.
No, that's why I asked about the grass earlier.
So it's to provide access to this parking, correct?
To the one disabled parking spot.
This way, which is safer, and then back in here. But
Oh, well, wait, well, hold on a second. I'm sorry, Mr. Chairman.
ambulance might be safer coming in here and
Oh,
back
I
in.
thought this is not grass area?
That will come in over here in ambulance and then backing in,
Whoa,
so
whoa. What is this here?
that's the front yard. I
Yeah,
don't think
is that
that's-
grass?
Yeah.
'Cause, yeah, that's
Yeah.
grass, so
Yeah.
they're not gonna come,
No, so,
That's why I asked earlier.
Yeah,
I mean, your curb cut is here.
right,
they could.
so they might just come over.
It's really access for one
Go-
part.
No, I
If they-
don't know how
They
you're
needed
gonna do that.
disabled
No, you
So
can't do
they'll
it.
come
You
over
can't
here.
do that.
Disabled
They're
parking.
gonna come
Yeah,
that
it's
way.
just gonna be for that.
Yeah, so as noted, that curb cut is strictly for access to the the handicap parking space.
It's for one parking spot.
So that, pardon? Just a minute. So you're telling us that the curb cut on Spruce Street is not going to be used by any of the ambulances? It is just for someone to come in who is disabled and park at the rear of the building. Is that correct?
Correct. The vehicles will enter, the ambulances will enter and exit from Hempstead Avenue. The curb cut there, based on the site plan, the vehicles aren't going to come down the side of the property. No.
Wait, there's no doors on that side, right?
No doors on that side. The only garage doors are on the south side of the building. 3 bay doors.
Touching on that, the parking situation on Spruce Street has been, for as long as I've lived there, which has been over 10 years, has been difficult. It has been made worse, it has much been worsened by the Glatt supermarket because the Glatt owner does not let his employees park there. So now you have employees spill over onto Hempstead Avenue, onto Spruce Street, and everywhere else. Basically, this guy has been a nuisance to the neighborhood, and unfortunately, now we're gonna have to reflect on the ambulance being built there. Is there a way we can have the handicap spot not in that position and potentially close that driveway skirt, making more parking on Spruce?
We'd have to make that a disabled, and then they're down to one disabled and two.
You want me to respond, Mr. Chairman?
Go right ahead.
I mean, we are required, not just by town law, but by state law, to provide a handicap parking space. If parking is a concern, with respect, and obviously I'm biased, but they couldn't have a better use than this one on this site. If this site was developed commercially with a Dunkin' Donuts, with a 7-Eleven, with any other type of retail use, it's going to generate far more parking demand than, based upon the testimony, this ambulance service is going to generate. So, again, we've shown 5 parking spaces. There's really very little need for even that many. Very seldom will that be the case. But nonetheless, we do have the handicap space provided for the purposes of addressing state and town law.
So honestly, I truly do appreciate the potential here for lack of
Who's the lawyer?
or lack of interruption in my daily life.
Just curious if
But like I
it's
said, what my concern is, would it make sense to make one of those 5? Because it's not going to be, it's not a manipulation. The traffic in and out is nominal. Could make one of those 5 spaces
Anyway.
handicap space, making it 4 regular, 1 handicap, and then close.
No, it wouldn't be for regular. Okay,
Yeah.
if we move that handicap to the front,
I haven't seen the plan.
okay, it would be one handicap and 2 regulars. It also sets a precedent for future businesses to say, oh, well, they needed 8 and they got away with 3 and we need 15 and, we want to get away with, 2/3 also. Like we have to think about that also. If we wanted to move that forward, then another scenario one could say is scoot the building back. But we don't want the building closer to the residential neighborhood. So and again, I guess what you want is the parking spot that would be provided by getting rid of the curb cut, which is about 1 spot, 1.5. Okay. I think the trade-off is worse. If we moved that to the front and had 2 spots, yes, they probably could get by with 2 spots, to be perfectly honest, most likely. What's the likelihood? But right now what you have, you lose the 14 feet for the curb cut that exists, but there's nothing going to be going on back there most of the time, if ever. So, I mean, I understand. And right. Mr. Benesso, may I ask real quick? So counsel for the board pulled the prior grant that Mr. Limitone mentioned earlier, right, for that. And as he said, there was a grant. The grant did include a condition that the private sanitation pickups on garbage be Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, not earlier than 7 a.m., as you indicated.
I didn't.
That wasn't your client, right?
No.
So we'll reach out, Mr. Limitone.
What about the wall?
We will reach out to counsel for that grant and try to address that issue for you.
Just so you know, it's
Oh.
3
There's
a.m.
no condition that they build a 3-foot high.
It is?
Okay.
Next door?
Yes, the lab is still open, so
Hold on.
send the building
What are they doing?
Oh, great.
What are they doing?
And we're now informed that one of our senior building department folks will be helpful in sending out someone to look into 3 a.m., 5 a.m. pickup, whatever it is, that is supposed to be at 7, as you had said so.
Not an inch, I want to talk about the parking, the thing, because I don't want the ambulance, the thing, because I see.
He's not on.
Let nobody go.
Oh, you're right. Hold on. You won't be taken down because you're not testifying. So let's finish with this gentleman and figure out from there.
Mr. Lapp.
Yes.
So there's no hope in closing the skirt on Spruce, right?
I'm not saying that. We'll take it under consideration.
We'll deliberate, but
The other concern I had was how much garbage is, so is it private sanitation you picking up?
I asked that question, whether or not, they're not going to generate any commercial garbage, that's for sure.
I mean,
Just basically, they just the garbage pay like a regular residential.
yeah, precisely.
Right.
And medical waste?
Pardon?
Medical waste?
How do you handle that?
Medical waste? Do you have medical
Reference to
waste?
Medical waste, we do have someone picking up just, sharps, containers.
And that is done where? At the
It's
front
At the front and.
on Hempstead Avenue?
Yeah, 100%.
A little box?
It's a little box, they'll pick up like one, cardboard box, like 4 feet by 3 feet by 3 feet. And that probably would be once every,
Month.
and I would say 2-3 months. It's,
No,
Fair enough.
there are no dumpsters shown. You should look at the plan. You really, okay.
Here.
Here,
I have this one.
take a peek.
You can keep that. You can keep that.
As far as the fencing, so also when you're making a turn onto Hempstead Avenue from Spruce Street, whether it be a right or a left, basically right now, when you have vehicles parked there and everything else, it is a pretty bad blind spot. And honestly, I'm looking forward to this because it negates that whole parking area right there. It's makes it a little easier. Is there any fencing running up to Hempstead Avenue down Spruce Street or not?
No fencing along the street frontages.
Okay, so it's just gonna be the property, along the property board.
Correct. It'll be adjacent to Mr. Limitoni's property, and it will be running between the Gourmet Glatt and the site.
Okay, very good. I mean, this is all, I was curious. I looked up the building, one of the other ones you had. Is it gonna look similar to the one I believe you have in Woodmere, where it's gonna be a brick facade and it's gonna need a more.
Christie, can someone give him
No,
this?
We have elevations that
Get
you
him
can
to the
take a look at if you'd like.
What, 2 more pages?
we're going to try to blend it as much as we could.
Yeah.
Mr. Vanessa and Mrs. D'Amato made hers
I
available.
sent one over.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay, all right, I think I'm finished. Thank you.
Thank you.
you.
Oh, glass doors or, like a glass door or like a whole steel up the.
Ms. Vanessa, can you answer that?
It's going to be some type of aluminum, like a aluminum with maybe like a little window in the middle just to look through.
So it won't be see-through?
No,
Okay.
no.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Yes, sir? Hold on.
Gregor, look at this.
What is Buscemi?
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. Buscemi is like, what's his name?
Okay,
I didn't get your name, I'm sorry. Okay.
got it.
Okay, my only concern was, I brought it up to this gentleman, is the fence going along the back of the property. I was just hoping that we could lower the fence, it goes from 6 feet down to 4 feet. I was hoping that since it's a driveway, and we got a walkway there, if we could lower the fence to 3 feet.
Here.
At the very end.
Wait, hold on, we just want to follow you.
Back of the property,
Okay, at the back of the property,
where the handicap spot.
To the western
Okay,
portion
so
on Spruce.
the 6-foot fence ends before the sidewalk.
How much,
Oh,
so
well.
it goes down to 4 feet, correct?
I think it goes 6-foot fence ends, sidewalk goes here, little area, and then curb cuts out here.
Right, it doesn't extend out to the curb cut. It ends before it gets to the
And it ends
curb.
at the sidewalk, and then
Right,
there's
it
a
ends at the
sidewalk,
So,
and then a little grass,
right,
and then a curb cut.
as presently proposed along the northerly property line, it's 6 feet from the northeast corner, running along the northerly property line towards the street. 25 feet from the street, it's proposed to drop down to 4 feet high. If the board wanted us to do 3 feet high, we would do 3 feet high for that distance.
I would prefer 3 feet, because people are walking by and there's a driveway
Okay,
there. Usually you can't have one fence by the sidewalk.
all right.
You sure you want it to be 4 feet for that length? Like
Three-
instead
3
of
feet.
like drop down to 3 feet for just 8 feet?
That'd be fine.
I mean, I think for
Mr. Limatone.
Limatone, that would be,
Yeah, maybe 6 feet down to 4 feet down to.
6 feet and then just,
6 feet? Yeah. What about the last 8 feet?
yeah, because I don't think you want 20, he doesn't want 25 feet of
No.
3 feet.
Just 8 feet by the sidewalk. Have to be lower.
All right, Mr. Vanessa, does that work?
So then, to be clear, it's going to be 6 feet to the 25-foot point, then it's going to go down to 4 feet?
No, no.
Oh.
It's going to be 6 feet until the last 8 feet.
Oh, okay, 6 feet until you get 8 feet from the property line, and then it's 3 feet.
3 feet.
Instead of 4. Yeah, that's fine.
This way we go up high.
Yeah, we're fine with that.
Anything else, sir? Thank you. Anyone else like to speak? If not, Mr. Benesso, you can sum.
Yeah, just to reiterate, from a parking perspective, this is a very good use for the community, generating very low activity, low parking demand, and very low traffic. So we would ask the board to take all that into consideration and grant the application as proposed with the modified fence as suggested.
Any other questions from the board? If not, do I have a motion? Oh, wait a minute. Oh,
Just please state your name and address for the record.
If you're looking at the new building, to the left of the new skirt, the new driveway.
Hold on, let me get it open. The new skirt on Hempstead Avenue.
Yeah, the new skirt on Hempstead Avenue, it shows a 21-foot opening and it shows clear sight path onto Spruce Street.
right. 21 foot, 8 and 5/8
Pardon me?
inches.
Yes, it's 21 feet 10 inches. Right?
You'll see it, but whatever. Here, yeah?
So is there a way to make that a no parking zone? Because I know.
On the property?
No, on the, you mean on the street?
On the street.
What's he talking about here?
Is it a county street or a state street? And we don't have that jurisdiction, you have to go to the county and ask them.
It's not our concern.
I don't know, it's 52 feet wide.
Big enough.
Oh, you mean widen it so no car could fit there?
Kind of, you're in the wrong venue for that one.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Mr. Chairman, I would just, Mr. Vanessa, you're finished, right? I would just move that the hearing be closed, that the matter be placed on the decision calendar. Each of you who have signed in will receive a copy of the board's decision by mail once it's rendered. Thank you all for coming. Have a nice day.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Where did, Christina, you're going to pull the other grant on the GLAD? Because this doesn't say anything about a 3-foot concrete buffer.
No, it does not.
I mean, pardon?
Becky, look, there was nothing.
Yeah. Let me talk to him. I'll talk to him.
Exactly.
I'm going to take a 10-minute Okay, decisions.
Decision.
Decisions. Case 103 of 26, Belmore, Samantha Morrow. Variance front yard use slobber. The front yard average setback, construct portico with stoop and second-story addition, both attached to a dwelling. Property address is 2816 Len Drive in Belmore. That case is adjourned to April 22nd, 2026 at 2 p.m. Okay. Case 104 of 26, Point Lookout, Louis Tiglias. Variances, lot area occupied, side yard aggregate, rear yard, construct additions, second floor additions, second floor breezeway, open below, connecting dwelling to garage, with second story above and rooftop decks, all attached to dwelling. I believe we're going to put that on hold because they have to submit new plans.
Put on reserve decision.
It's okay.
Put index number.
Index number 105 of 2026 in West Hempstead, 341 Hempstead LLC, variance in off-street parking, special exception to park in the front yard setback on Hempstead Avenue and Spruce Street and parking within clear sight triangle. Construct a one-story building with a cellar for ambulance service, demolish the existing building. This property is located at 341 Hempstead Avenue in West Hempstead. So I think, any comments from the board?
I would say that, that we adopt that adjustment made, I think agreeable to all, that the fits on the northern property border.
First we have to have a secret determination.
Yeah, I was just doing the comment section first. That we go with the idea that the 6-foot fence runs all the way up till the last, running west on the northern property line until the last 8 feet. And then the last 8 feet is at 3 feet of height, 8 linear feet. And with that said, then I would move that based on the materials in the file, the testimony, the hearing, the board's prior analysis, and subsequent analysis to the hearing, et cetera, that we adopt a negative declaration as to the CEQA determination.
Second.
All in favor? Opposed? And on index number 105?
I would move then, Mr. Chairman, that the board approve the application as proposed. As to that fence, should we make that temporary so that we can always check that it's 3 foot of that 8 foot? That would be my motion then.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Oh, can I have the 6-foot hill file?
Yes.
Now, just parenthetically, Mr. Apparently what last week was they went in and they excavated the back of his property. That was
Reserve decisions.
Oh, Peachy Keen.
Oh, can you put this back together?
People would do that.
They can't get
I
it.
do puzzles.
This is him.
Okay, so,
Duran. He's my man.
well, I have two we could do, but the papers are wrong. Not our fault.
I can't find it.
And Malone will just, wait. Christina, I'm
Christina,
gonna look at it again because.
come on.
The best I could do, sorry.
Did you okay
Exactly, I'm
this
sorry, I was
one,
only able to get on
39, the
lettuce.
two-family? or-
Even
On page 2 of our calendars, I did inspect the North Belmore Luca Custom Homes.
Yes.
That's the one that they wanted to construct a two-family dwelling with less than 12,000 square feet. I looked at it. I think it's a perfectly suitable application the way it is, even though we had one person that was in opposition as to the curb cut. She conceded that the curb cut is stuck with it. But she would prefer that it be reduced to a one-family dwelling.
She would prefer.
Yeah.
And you?
I don't care.
The applicant, he's an old-time builder. He was around here years ago. He stopped. He hasn't been back. I forget his name.
It's right beside commercial.
This is, yes, it is by commercial.
I mean, it's an area, so it's not.
I'm gonna go and look at this again. So the fence out here.
Make your motion.
Two-family?
Okay. It's not there.
I'll defer to the greater knowledge.
But
Would you like to make a motion, Mr. Pellegrini?
I move that case number 39 of 2026 in North Belmore, Luca Custom Homes, that a variance to construct a two-family dwelling with attached garage on less than 12,000 square feet, that it be granted as requested.
With conditions, temporarily 5 years?
owner occupied.
Yeah,
Or will it be owner occupied?
he did not agree to owner occupied. I don't know whether or not he did. We'll put it in, and he could always ask for a modification. That it be granted for 5 years, that at least one of the units be owner occupied upon sale or transfer of title.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Regano, you're out for that meeting, so
So.
we're good,
Well, good.
but we'll indicate that.
Well,
Case 4526 East Atlantic Beach, Racina LLC. The property is 27 Malone Avenue.
Second.
I've inspected the property a couple of times, reviewed the plans more than once, and it seems fine with the caveat. It is obviously a lot area occupied. So with the caveat that the second story porch, and I think there's only a second story porch, but that the open porches and whatever else they want to go, open porches, open decks, whatever they are, the proposed open spaces not ever be further enclosed and otherwise granted.
Can we have a second on that motion?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Okay.
And one other?
If you're up against a time frame, I can do that case, but I'd have to deny, we have to put a time limit, deny the shed.
let's get our case. Do you have the?
Don't make a motion to grant everything.
No, it's only a motion to rehear.
Yeah, this is, and by the way, just because you guys were asking what the variances were, it was lot area occupied, front yard setback, rear yard construct second story and 2-story additions to dwelling, construct second story balcony with deck and stairs below, second story balcony under existing roof overhang portico, all attached.
Where is it? Where is it?
It's in, Westbury.
I would just move as it relates to case, I hope it's a 20 case, but case 741.
Oh, yeah.
I hope of 220, well, that's the hearing, but
That was the hearing date.
I
So
don't
it
know if
was
the
heard.
case number was 20 or 19, but
Well, let's
case,
hold on. It's right here. So actually
not
it
to
was.
parse numbers, but.
Yeah, no, I got you. By the way, and just as an FYI, Mrs. D'Amato picked up on a good point. The original hearing date was October 28th, 2020. The board's grant was 1/31/21, and then, yeah. So I'm just letting you know. It's BZA case 741 of 20.
Okay. As it relates to the request received by the Board of Zoning Appeals, as to case 741 of 2020, the property is at 1808 Oak Street in Westbury. I move that we grant the applicant's request for a rehearing, given that the applicant picked up the permit but was unable to start construction in the requisite 16 months.
What did you make an application for, a rehearing?
Rehearing.
Rehearing.
Okay.
All right.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I have to pick up my daughter. She's like, get here fast, Mom.
No, wait, we have more to discuss.
Look, I wasn't trying to delay us.
Don't.
Phone's ringing.
No.
Mike's calling.
I'm not answering it.
It's phone's ringing. Your phone really is
I know
ringing.
it, I know it is. I'm not, we have, don't we have more to discuss?
Let's
Sorry,
invite
she's
some.
at school.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Bye.
She had to do her first detention because I didn't write a tardy note. She's like, I go,